All right, hello again, everybody. We're back here at Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital. A couple of updates today. Wanted to respond to a question that I got online, which was about testing. There's been a lot of questions about antibody testing versus the types of tests that we've already had at the hospital and other places. The test we've had already is one that looks to see if a patient is infected. This is the one that we use a swab for. We can either swab the back of the nose or the back of the throat. Most commonly we're doing the nose, and then we send that off, and that actually tests to see if a person has the actual viral infection currently. It's a so-called PCR test, which checks for the actual RNA of the virus. And we've had that now in our own hospital for a while. We don't have unlimited testing, but we certainly are able to test all of the inpatients that we need to and others in the emergency department and do some screening with it as well. So that's been very helpful. The new test that people are starting to ask about is the antibody test. And this one is a little bit different. It hasn't become widely available yet, but I think we're really on the cusp of it becoming widely available. We're going to be able to do those tests ourselves at the hospital very soon. And this is a device and a test where it looks for the antibodies that a patient actually makes when they have had the infection previously. And we're looking specifically at IgG antibodies. These are ones that take a little while to develop, usually a week or two, to get enough of those in the blood that you can test for that. And it usually signifies somebody's seen an infection, they've mounted an immune response to it, and then usually there's some level of protection from those antibodies. But we're really in the early phases of this test, and nobody's exactly sure what level of protection someone may have as a result of having these antibodies, whether they'll be completely immune, how long that might last. Because this is a new infection, we're still sort of in the dark about that. But I do think it's going to be an important part of figuring out when some people can start to go about their normal activities and also get a sense of whether we're getting closer to any sort of herd immunity. I think we probably are really not at herd immunity levels. We have probably a very low prevalence of people that have any sort of protection or immunity against COVID-19 at this point in time. So those are the two major categories of tests. I'm sure there'll probably be more questions about those, and we'll try to address those in future videos. I wanted to mention a couple other things. Everybody is talking about recovery mode and when can we get back to normal activities. Here at the hospital, we're asking some of those same questions about when can we start to do things like elective procedures, surgeries, tests, and things like that we've been really deferring until later for a while. And we're starting to look at when can we do that, what kinds of indicators do we need to see that it makes reasonable sense for us to start to do elective surgeries. And I think we're getting closer to a plan for that, but we're not quite there yet. And we want to do this with partnership with other experts at public health. And we want to look at the big picture of all of this and make sure that as we talk about recovery as a community, we're looking at the impact on other businesses, we're looking at the psychology of this self-quarantine, and the economic impact of it as well, which I think has been a big concern for so many people. So more to come on the recovery piece, a lot of planning around that. I do want to mention there is a drill Thursday here at the hospital. We're looking at how we can use our expansion area tents. We don't need them at this point in time, so this is just a drill. So if anybody sees any activity around the hospital, then that's what's happening. There's no need to be concerned about it or alarmed. And then I'm also going to be on ABC on Wednesday mornings for the next 4 weeks, it looks like, with Walt Gray, 9 a.m. if you want to tune in. And we're just answering more questions on that. We just get them texted, so feel free to text Walt a question. I think he'll give you the phone number, and then I'll do my level best to answer those questions. In the meantime, thank you all for doing all you can to keep yourself safe, to keep our community safe. Thanks for all your support that you've given to the hospital. It means a tremendous amount. And we'll get you in the next couple of days. We'll do another video. Thank you very much.